Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. This is just a short video essentially about relapse, some tips how to stay strong during what is quite a difficult time at the moment, and that's holiday time, and the sun is shining in the UK at the moment, unusually so. It's very hot, and it's vacation time. Here in Spain there's lots and lots of people coming on holidays, and the sort of doors have opened, after a very difficult couple of years for everybody in lockdown, with mental health problems, anxiety, grief, anger, all these emotions, all these issues that we've had around the last couple of years. Suddenly the doors are open and we're out and about and able to relax again, and the sun's shining. It's a great feeling, and that's wonderful. But whatever stage of recovery you're at, whether you're newly sober or got years of sobriety behind you, you have to remain vigilant at these times, because the mind, the mind can get carried away and become obsessed with certain things, and like I say, it's not, we've not been used to having this freedom and this being out and about in this beautiful weather and all the rest of it. People are celebrating. And that's natural, and that's great, and it's lovely to see people smiling and happy again. The thing is, to be vigilant around, it's great to get away on holiday, and it's great to spend some lovely time in the sun in the UK. But a couple of things to watch out for. I've mentioned before on the channel, and please subscribe if you can. I'll just share my experiences on here, things that work, things that haven't, and if they're helpful to a few people, that's brilliant, and subscribing just means that maybe one or two more will see them. Anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is something which is talked about a lot, and I've talked about a lot, but it's like a lot of the old sayings that are sort of like keep it simple and one day at a time and all the rest of all of these things. They're there for a reason, and so is HALT, and that's hungry, angry, lonely, tired. There's 4 little fundamental areas there to keep an eye on. There's other things as well which I'll mention after this, but hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Sometimes cravings and things like that can be mixed up with hunger and thirst. It's a fact. Sometimes you can think you're craving something, but if you have a nice healthy meal, for example, make an effort to cook something or have something healthy or a healthy snack, magically that craving, whether it's a distraction or whatever it is, that craving or what you think is a craving will disappear. And sometimes cravings are just thirst. So drink a pint of water, and sometimes, that'll magically often go. So watch out around hunger and stuff like that. Tiredness is massive with sobriety, because we all know if we're not getting enough sleep, we're not in a good place. The stress of travel, coming away on holiday, you might be up at the crack of dawn. It might have affected your sleep for a couple of days. The packing, the stress of getting the family out and about and on an aeroplane and to a different country, and the heat and all the rest of it will all add to that tiredness and all add to that overwhelming feeling sometimes. Sleep is so important. So you've got to make some time for yourself, whether that be just being kind to yourself and relaxing and knowing when enough's enough, and just taking a breath and taking time to stop, having a hot bath, a hot shower, whatever it is, just chilling out a bit, doing a bit of meditation, distracting yourself. But sleep is so important. Sleep hygiene plays a massive role in my strength, if you like, and my recovery. Because if I'm not sleeping, I can't do anything. I can't exercise, I can't be bothered, I'm feeling low, mood, all the rest of it. Everything's affected by it. Energy, it's awful. So 6 to 8 hours for me is good. And I'll do all the things. Look at a few videos on sleep hygiene. For me, it's blackout curtains. It's some noise cancelling earplugs. It's not having screens in your room for a couple of hours. Not eating after 6 o'clock. Reading before bed. Perhaps watching a relaxing video. A couple of hours before, doing a bit of meditation. Whatever it is, it helps my sleep. And chamomile tea also an hour before. All these little habits, build up. And sleep is okay for me. It never used to be much good, particularly when I was sort of drinking and using. There was never there. That just used to exacerbate the problem. Now I wake up refreshed. Sometimes I won't have a good night, but then I'll look after myself that following day. Anger. You'll be frustrated and stressed on holiday. The hot weather makes you frustrated and stressed. You'll build up little niggles, resentment, anger. You've got to really watch out around your anger and not build up these resentments and talk to people. Isolation, loneliness. A lot of people aren't lucky, perhaps not lucky enough to be going on holiday. The cost of living crisis all over the world and the stress and pressures of that, mean that many people won't be able to get away and perhaps haven't got family to talk to. If you're one of those people, loneliness and isolation used to be my biggest issues. So finding the strength of facing your fears and getting out, joining a group. For me, it was AA. I'm not going to preach about AA on here. It suited me. It saved my life. I'm not going to make any bones about it or beat around the bush about it. It's not for everybody, and whatever suits you, and that's brilliant, because we're all different. So it might be Smart Recovery, it might be groups online, it might be Zoom meetings, it might be talking to a relative, some friends, it might be, I don't know, whatever counsellor, it might be a professional. But sharing your truth with someone like-minded on an hourly basis, if you've got to, picking up the phone before it's too late, is essential to sobriety. There's no doubt about it. Asking for help. Most important part of sobriety is asking for help. And when you're feeling these feelings, uncomfortable feelings, before they start multiplying and you become obsessed, talk to somebody. That's all I can say. Share it with somebody. Share to like-minded people if you can. It's like a pressure cooker for me, because it'll build up and build up and build up. And if I don't take the lid off and talk about it, it'll explode. And then I'm in trouble. I know that. Because I know that if I take one drink or one drug, I'm dead this time, because I can't stop. The obsession and the cravings and the compulsion around that will mean I'll just go on and on and on to cause carnage. And my body can't take another one anyway, I know that. And this is the next thing I want to come to, and it's acceptance. And it's acceptance of yourself the way you are, not worrying about what other people think about you, because you'll always be their prisoner if you do. Accepting yourself the way you are, not the way you picture yourself to be or hope yourself to be. Just accepting that you are an alcoholic and an addict, as I have, or accepting you've got a drink problem and you can't drink and you can't use a drug, you can't eat rubbishy food, because it'll set off a chain of events that you won't be able to control or stop. Accepting that you need help and accepting that you need to talk to people. All of these things are essential to staying sober. Accepting things the way they are and not the way you want them to be, because things are never and can't be the way you want you to be. They're always going to be imperfect. They're never going to be perfect, because that's life, and you're going to have great days and you're going to have crappy days. The thing is, I just want to, and I shared it in the last video, but I want to reiterate it here. I spent all of my life, 35, 40 years, well, I'll say most of my life, when I was in addiction, either trying to, or being up there somewhere high as a kite, or crashing down in hell somewhere without putting too fine a point on it, and then fighting to get back up there again. But today I'm okay. And to be okay is a blessing. I'm so grateful to be okay, because we don't need to be. And I think this is where a lot of people get mixed up. They think that life is all about this euphoria and this happiness is with you all the time, magical. When you're sober, this is all worries. Of course it doesn't. Life happens. Accepting life on life's terms is part of the recovery process. And being okay, just being okay, is magical, because there's a lot of people in the world that aren't okay. Trust me, you know that, and I know that. And particularly at this current moment in time, the way things are, it's a frightening place to be, the world. And many people are struggling at the moment. If you're okay, you're one of the lucky ones. So be grateful. Start the day with gratitude and end the day with gratitude. one moment at a time, one day at a time. You know, I talked about it in the last video. Have a look at that. I talked about it in detail and that, but I just want to reiterate here, you know, if you're feeling like you want to step backwards, take a breath, try and spend 5 minutes picturing where your last drink or drug took you, because that's important. People say don't look back, and that's true. Regret is useless and looking back, but you shouldn't forget where your addictions took you to, the hell that it took you to, but most importantly, the hell it took those you love to, and the carnage it brought around you, and the pain of getting out of it, the withdrawals and all the rest of it, nearly dying and God knows what else. You've got to remember that. Take one moment at a time, because I guarantee you everything is transient and bad feelings will pass. They say this too will pass, and it's true. And knowing that, and knowing in your heart that that's the truth, and it is a truth. You know, it may get worse for a bit, but it will get better. And it'll get worse again, and it'll get better again. Everything is a moment by moment. So just accept each moment as it comes. Not, you know, as it is, not as you want it to be. It's part of the process and so important. People, places and things. If you're triggered, particularly in this hot weather, you know, by ice cold beers in a bar somewhere, stay away from it. Stay away from people who took you to those places. It doesn't matter what people think of you. Your recovery is your responsibility. No one else's. No one else will pull you out of this trouble, or, you know, or keep you sober. Only you. You're the only one that can do it. You make the choices. Everything you do is a choice. So just choose not to be with those people. Choose not to go to those places if they trigger you. Choose not to have alcohol in your home if it triggers you. You know, if you're on holiday, enjoy it, because it's a blessing. You know, and I'm at the stage now where the compulsion's left me. You know, my family wants to have a lovely drink, as they do, because none of them have the same issues as me. Then that's brilliant, and I'm just glad they're enjoying it. That compulsion has left me, but I still have to be careful, because there are days when I'll walk past a packed bar in a beautiful little Spanish town I live in, and they'll all be drinking ice cold beers, and that thought will flash across my mind, and you have to accept that, let it go, and just let it go. And that's the thing, let it go, and let go of, you know, trying to control, because it won't get you anywhere. So good luck with all that. You know, it's a lot. You have to be the watcher of your thoughts. You have to, moment by moment, understand where you are, practice some self-care. Just be kind to yourself. It's bloody hard, this sobriety business. You know what I mean? And it's a work that never stops, and it never will stop. We have to be vigilant if we want to stay sober. It's our responsibility to do that, and watch for all these things. So I hope that's been helpful to you. Carpe Diem. Seize the day today. Much love to you all. Have a great holiday wherever you are, and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you. Bye-bye.